in four seeding for their first playoff match. We're going to hop on board with Snivy, I believe, ranked 10th on our league KD list, finally breaking the top 10. He is the only member of Supreme in the top 10 list. So I'm curious to see how he does here. He's rocking the NV4 as they take on this first bridge hardpoint.
And yes, Nivey has favored the NV4 as of late. You know, he's definitely a dominant slayer that we've seen here in the league. Like you said, breaking into the top 10. So he is going to be someone that Supreme look to bring a lot of that slaying power to their side. So let's take a look here at Boston trying to hit this flank real quick. We had a 4 down in favor of Rush. So a dominant breakout there by Rush. But once again, Snivy coming up with the NV4, utilizing those jammer grenades, trying to lead his team into a push to take this first hardpoint.
Yeah, I like seeing the jammer grenades come flying out. You know, something to really try to counter this strong hold that they have on the center bridge hardpoint. But the thing is, it looks like all the players are rocking the perk to counter that right now. Snivy, though, as he gets picked off right there, I thought he was going to have a nice job setting up on the second hardpoint. But this might be a complete take for this first hardpoint by Rush.
Yeah, that was a pretty dominant take there. They've got about 50, let's see, 53? No,
Even
52 seconds, which is pretty much the entire hill. Real quick, I just want to switch over to Booster Flames on hill for Rush. He's got 5 kills on a 5 streak, actually, so doing a great job as he died. We'll switch over to Viper, but yeah, I mean, Rush, dominant as always. I know this is their host, but the slaying power is really what sets them apart from these other teams. So an early lead coming in by Rush, and it really shows on the scoreboard. You have 2, 6, that's 8, 4, 12, plus 5, 17 kills, as opposed to about 7 kills on Supreme side.
And you talk about the dominant slaying that we see from Rush. Rush having 3 players in the top 10 KD list. The only player not in there is Navy Clown, their pure OBJ player. So really great job from them as we see Maradona, the leader actually in KD in the league, rocking the ERAD. Nice to see that on a small map like this.
Yeah, you know, Maradona, we did see him use the ERAD on that 49 kill game that he posted up against Imperium on the throwback hardpoint, I believe it was. So maybe favoring the ERAD as of late, and it looks like it's working out for him. He's 7-5 right now, tied for first. Oh, never mind. He just put himself in first place in kills in lobby. So he's got 8 kills right there. And again, Rush, I mean, 100-4 right now. They're looking unstoppable. A nice 2-piece there by Maradona. And again, Navy Clown, a minute and a half in hill. He does have only 2 kills, but that's to be expected with a pure OBJ player like himself.
Yeah, and you know, the thing that I'm seeing right now is I feel like Rush is doing a great job holding down spawns. They're slaying out when Supreme seems to push them, and then they know exactly where they're going to spawn next. If you're Supreme, you got to do something to really shake up this momentum. You got to, you know, I would try something new even, you know, just change it up. Try to surprise them. You're already down 130 points. You know, just play with it. See what you can do, and try to get some points here to finish off this game.
Yeah, I would like to mention that was a pretty nice move by the substitute for Supreme, Considers. He actually juked out, I believe, who was that, Maradona on hill a little bit, and he was able to capture a few seconds for his team there. And as we move to this next destroyed building hardpoint, it looks like they're actually set up quite nicely against Rush here. So this could be a chance for them to mount a comeback.
Yeah, and I mean, as I see Considers here, he could maybe pick up 2 kills for himself, jumping around on hill. Good to see Supreme taking some time on hill right here. You know, any little bit helps, and they're going to try to claw back here. They got 35 seconds left on this hill. Plenty of time to mount a nice comeback.
I agree with you there. I mean, you know, definitely taking out a couple of the Rush players and securing some good time on hill. I think that was actually a clean break for Rush there as they sent out all 4 of the Supreme players, but not before Supreme could get a good 30 points or so. Considers with a nice 2-piece. So they're going to look to take the last 15 seconds or so of the Broken Hill as we rotate into Hotel Hallway.
Yeah, Considers is doing a really nice job for himself, melting with that ERAD as he gets punched by Booster Flames on the top of the head. But, you know, Considers with 11 kills leading his team. We're hopping on board with a Navy Clown, though. Like we said, OBJ player. He already has over a minute in the hill, a minute 40 to be exact. And he gets killed off there, but we're seeing a nice team game by Rush. You know, they all have some time on hill, which is key.
Absolutely, and that's, you know, what we pretty much always see when it comes from Rush. You know, they split up the hill time. You know, Navy Clown, of course, gets the most of it, but really, every player is dangerous on Rush, and you can't underestimate them whatsoever. So Maradona on Hill right now with 17 kills already, over a minute on Hill time, using that ERAD in these close range engagements. He actually took out Booster Flames right there. I don't know if he was confused or if he just genuinely wanted to kill Booster Flames, but hey, Supreme switching around the momentum here, getting some time on Hill. Viper with a nice pre-fire to hit the wall bang right there. But it looks like Supreme will be capturing some time on this Hill as we're on board with Boston right now.
Well, one thing we mentioned, I feel like a lot, and it's not just with Rush, with any team that, we see win hardpoint matches, is, you need more than just one player on Hill. Yeah, Navy Clown does have a minute 42, but you look, Maradona has over a minute as well. Booster has roughly 40. And then you take a look at Supreme.
Viper just with a 3 down right there, I wanted to point.
Snivy only has 4 seconds on Hill. He is their primary slayer, but, if he could jump on board on the Hill at least a little bit, that'll help out a ton.
Well, speaking of which, Snivy as your primary slayer, I mean, he's only putting up 9 kills to Consider's 14 right now. I think it's good to have that second slaying power on your roster tonight, as using that substitute Considers. But again, look at the score, 205 to 61. Supreme is at a pretty big deficit right now, and it's going to be up to other players on the team like Zoomix, Boston, and Snivy to bring up their kills a little bit, slay out, get some time on Hill, and swing this around.
Yeah, we saw a nice two-piece right there from Viper. And, I think it's just Rush, as Viper's on a 7 streak right now, I think Rush just knows the spawns very well, which it could be rough for any team. I think Supreme is doing a really nice job staying in the game, as they do have control of this Hill right here. So I want to see, they have 50 seconds, ton of time. If they hold down this hard point, it'll put them in a nice position.
Yeah, agreed. They can get some serious time here if they can hold this. I mean, 40 seconds left on Hill. They're clawing it back. They've got 80 points right now. Considers on Hill. Popped his active camo. Should be lined up for a couple of kills here on Rush players. And it looks like Supreme will actually be taking a pretty good amount of time off of this Hill. Rush, though, only about 23 seconds away from winning. I mean, Supreme really has to do more than just hold this Hill.
Yeah, and I really like to see that active camo popped by Considers. I think that, it was a really nice job. However, if you're a member of Supreme, you just got to contest at least on this Hill. They are not far off. They will not win from this Hill, but still, it'll put them in less than 10 seconds. So we'll see what they could do. As absolute dominance, I feel like we're seeing from Viper tonight.
Yeah, I just want to point out, Viper was positioned really nice in the hallway here, and he actually did look out to the player. I believe it was Considers that he killed. And that just goes to show how well Rush know the spawns. That, after they get a wave of kills, they know exactly where the opponent's going to be and where they're going to come from. So that just helps them dominate even further than they already do. And now, with about 3 seconds left of Hill time, Rush should close out this first map.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like Supreme did a very nice job the second half of that map. I feel like they almost clawed their way back slightly there. It was heavily in favor of Rush, I feel like, from the start. Whenever you don't score off the first hard point, I feel like that's one of the biggest, holes you dig yourself into. So I feel like maybe if they do get themselves to the throwback hard point, they at least on first Hill contest a lot harder than they did. Funny how our substitute here for Supreme dropping 21 kills, leading the team, almost a minute on Hill. He also led the team in Hill time as well. And then on the side of Rush, Navy Clown, 2 minutes 38 seconds on Hill, not surprising, and good slaying out by everybody.
I mean, I gotta agree with you there. It's not surprising to see Navy Clown putting up 2+ minutes on Hill, and when you're surrounded by the slaying potential that Rush brings to the table, I think it just makes his job that much easier. So that's, definitely a standout objective play, but it brings up the conversation of what allows you to get the objective time to such an extent, So I actually do have some interest in actually spectating Navy Clown maybe as we move into the uplink match, just to showcase kind of what he does as an objective player and, show that, hey, maybe it's just not the guys killing around him. He also brings some true talent to the team. In addition, we are moving on to Supreme's host right now, so I think it's going to be kind of a, like we said coming in before, it's going to be something to take a look at when you switch to a search and destroy, especially with a team like Supreme, who's showed some good search and destroy potential in the past, and Rush, who did really lose their only map as a search and destroy. This is going to be the match to look at right here moving forward. I think it's a Scorch S&D, and it's on Supreme's host. So,
and like I said earlier, Scorch S&D, the only map that Rush has lost this season. It was
Yeah.
last week, and I mean, we'll see if Supreme noticed that. Maybe they went back and watched to see what they can do to try to take a scorching D from Rush right now. I feel like if they get this S&D, they tie up the series 1-1, they'll be in a nice spot. I think that would really put themselves in a nice spot. Then they take the uplink on Frost. We have not seen a lot of Frost uplink. We've only seen maybe 3 maps of Frost uplink this season. So, I mean, I feel like that one might be people's most uncomfortable map. So anything could really happen with that. And then, like we said, though, to get to another S&D, you have to get the map 5, which is really hard to do against Rush, but it is doable.
Of course, yeah. Just wanted to kind of touch up on the Frost uplink aspect. I think Frost uplink is, not one of the matches that we've seen a lot of in Breakout League, but at the same time, I do think the teams have been practicing it quite a bit. We saw some good plays coming out of, I believe it was Chroma on Hypnotic. He took the ball, actually went into the sub, and just kind of kept circling around. That's one of the things that you see teams do when they have the lead. Just drain out the clock. Looking back to games like AW and I think a little bit of Black Ops 3, you were able to throw the drone up on top of buildings to stall out time. You really can't do that anymore, with such a quick reset.
Yeah, you really can't.
So, you getting creative with it, utilizing those outer wall runs around the ridge or hopping into the sub and kind of encircling it a little bit. Good ways to stall out time if you can get an easy couple of points on the board. So if Supreme is able to do that, that's going to be one of the keys to trying to drag out the match and, holding Rush to as few uplinks as they possibly can. Again, the slaying potential is pretty strong on Rush. I think it's up to Supreme to just make sure that, first map's out of the way, get your shots clicking, feel good, and really come out dominant here. That's really the key, just to come out explosive and start strong.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're loading up right here. I do like how we are on Supreme's host. I think, host does play a big part Season 1, something we might have to look into in the future. But, for now, a lot of people feel like it could be a deal breaker, really, if you have host or not.
Right.
So, I mean, with Rush only losing 1 map, I even think it might have been on their host, too.
The one that they lost?
Yeah. So,
could have been.
I mean,
sure,
50-50 chance. If somebody actually goes back and check that, props to them, but still, I don't think they will. But yeah, I'm expecting Snivy to really step up here. We didn't see his best hardpoint game. I really want to see him come out in this S&D and do really well for himself. Also, Havix, Oh, I'm sorry, Zoomix. I apologize for that. Havix is no longer in the league. Oops. Zoomix, excuse me. I believe he only had 5 kills in that hardpoint.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was something like 5 and
Okay.
19. We have seen him do better than that. We have seen him do much better than that. So, that worried me a little bit because Zoomix has put up much better games than that. So if he should at least put up 5 kills in this S&D.
I think he's a volcano, and he's due, and he's ready to erupt. That's what I think. I think he's just been bottling it up, and he's been waiting for this moment right here to explode. I think that's what's going to happen. I think, he let out some, little bit of lava in the beginning of the season, and he's like, no, I'm going to chill.
Unless he's saving it for playoffs. I want to see.
That too.
I mean, like we said, the only really thing that this match does is determine where Supreme will be seated. Yep. Rush is already the first seed, so it'll determine where Supreme is seated.
Correct, yeah.
And I mean, I feel like that's not the biggest thing,
right?
Because you're already in the playoffs.
I think Supreme is looking at this as a learning experience. What do we need to improve on before we move into playoffs? It's just yet another match that they get to play live before playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's really more practice, and they must be feeling good. Like, yes, we're in playoffs. We don't have to worry about that. So let's just try to take our match tonight and learn as much as we can and focus on how to improve moving forward because we may see Rush again in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they really need to focus on.
As you get that going, let me just take a look in the comments. I see Chroma, I see One Shot, I see Original as well. We see Umbreon, the owner of Inhuman, I believe, always showing some support. His team will be playing on Thursday. We have Inhuman up against Sky or Aquafina, whatever they're going to call themselves by then. We were going to have to change that up because they are no longer with Sky, but for the purposes, I feel like, of this stream, it would just be easier to maybe call them that just for tonight until they get a new name. So yeah, we'll see Inhuman and Sky also play on Thursday. That's another huge seeding match where Inhuman could possibly, I feel like, take the 3rd seed if they win, which, you know, yeah, that could put them in a nice spot. So we'll see what happens with that.
And just to kind of veer the conversation away from the upcoming matches and to bring it back towards Breakout in general, I see some of you asking questions about the league itself. Is that we will have actually a couple of videos coming out explaining A, how the playoffs are going to work, and B, how Season 2 is going to work and what we're going to be doing after Season 1. So if you actually check out our YouTube, all the information is down in the panels below. There's a link to the YouTube and a link to our website as well. Keep checking those links, including our Twitter. Actually, you could follow at Breakout League. All of these links are going to be posting information about the upcoming season and how the playoff matches are going to go. So if you do have questions and you're interested in getting involved in Breakout League in one way or another, whether that be competing or helping us out, helping out the staff, all the information is going to be down below, and you can contact us directly at our Twitters here. Call me Chris P and Ryan Breakout to contact us, straight up. Just send us a DM, hit us with a follow, and have a conversation with us. We're always willing to connect with people and help you guys out and answer questions and try to come up with some solutions on how you want to get involved moving forward. With that said, we're just about ready to start up our next map. I believe we're still waiting on one player to join, Scorch, Search and Destroy, but if you guys have any questions for us now in the chat, we can totally answer them as we're waiting for the next match to start up. Let's see, one of the things I wanted to take a quick look at was...
See Original and Chroma doing some work, letting the people know where to hit us up at.
So I just want to reach out to Cam Fran, or is it Cam Fran, real quick. One of the things about drafts potential or free agency potential is that you can contact us. We'll list you as a free agent regardless, right? Like, no questions asked. You could come into the Discord and get a chance to meet some of the players and captains in the league right now. Maybe even scrim with them to see if you guys fit really, nicely. In addition to that, we may be doing some sort of a draft based on the amount of availability on the rosters. It won't be like a full, round by round draft pick, but as we are allowing 6 players on the roster for Season 2, a lot of teams may only have 4, so we might have a big meeting to kind of hammer that out, and if people want spots on a team, we can find you one.
Sorry, I was checking the Twitters, seeing what was going on. Alright, we see he's talking.
There you go, Fatal Skiss hitting us with the link in the chat. Awesome, thank you.
I just did that. Alright, we should be starting up soon. Looks like we have 8 people here.
Alrighty, yeah, it does look like we're bringing in Relays, another Supreme player on their roster, to act as the 4th man right now. So we should be all set to go. Everyone is in the lobby. I think we're ready to get started. Relay is somebody who we saw. I'm not exactly sure of his statistics. I haven't pulled them up. I'm sure we could if we wanted to, but again, a player who just joined Supreme not too long ago. So hopefully, he's an addition to the team that Supreme can feel confident in as they move forward into playoffs. And hopefully he's somebody who can definitely bring them some extra slaying potential. Maybe just a good assistance as another player.
Well, my concern is you're getting rid of your sub, who was what, Considers or whatever his name was?
Considers.
He slayed out the best for your team last map, dropping 21 kills, leading your team in kills, and now you're getting rid of him.
He did well, yeah.
Relays, I'm not 100% sure of his statistics, like we said, but that might be worrisome. It is for me, at least. If my sub is dropping the most amount of kills on my team, now we're getting rid of him. They must be really confident in what Relays can do for them.
Yeah, and let's see how it all pieces together. I mean, hey, they might feel comfortable as a team of 4. Only time's gonna tell. So I believe 1, 2,
missing 1.
3.
We are missing 1. Relays was in here, and now he's gone.
So you know what that means. We're gonna bring you guys a little bit of EX as we wait to get this match started. We'll be right back with you guys in just a minute or 2.
You wouldn't want to set up housekeeping in a padded cell. Oh, it'd be bad.
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't quite know, Elaine.
Yes.
Oh, what I would do for just a moment with you. It's all I really need. When the light's shining through, all I see is you. It's all I really need.
Alright guys, we are back and ready. Everyone is in the lobby. Supreme up against Rush here on Scorch Search and Destroy. It is the second game in the series. Sorry for the slight delay there, but we're back and ready to rock and roll. I think we're going to start off taking a look at Viper. Viper had some pretty explosive plays in the last map. I think he even had a triple kill at one point. So we will hop on board with him. He is one of the top slayers in the league. He's currently sitting at 2nd place in the top 10 KD list. So if you guys want to go check that out, it's on the website, breakoutleague.org. Flechette grenades flying out.
And you know, one thing to note out, I don't believe Viper had a very good game at all last time we saw them on this map on S&D. If I remember correctly, I think he maybe even had the worst map. But, you know, he has proven himself in the league, which is enough. You know, it says enough. He does have the 2nd highest KD, and that might have been him right there who picked up that kill. It was not. But, you know, Navy Clown dropping to 3 kills that round, having himself a great round.
Evo. He goes with the Evo.
Interesting.
Wow. Navy Clown must be feeling really confident.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him be very aggressive, I feel like, this season. I feel like he knows where he stands, and he really plays his gunfights well. Looks like he's just sitting right now in the spawn. He's gonna a delayed start. Maybe they wanted that from him. Who knows?
It's all part of the plan.
A split defense we're seeing from Supreme. That might not be the best, as you know, we know Rush likes to move as a team. Ooh, as Relays hits them with that flank. Snivy picks off Navy Clown as well.
Yeah, that was a nice flank coming out of Relays right there for Supreme.
See what happens. A 2v4 right here. Booster dropping Boston. Then
Booster
dropping
with a 2.
Snivy. Evens it up at 2v2.
Now, Supreme's positioning is pretty good here. They've got a split on Rush, so that they could pinch them. Oh, man. That's just...
If you're Supreme, you cannot let that happen right there. Not, the only thing, like I said about Rush, is they do like to stick together. And, you know, I feel like Booster probably figured that somebody was going to try to flank after they did flank them initially. But I feel like if you're going to make a push on Rush, you probably should have done it in unison.
Agreed,
But,
yeah.
you know, we'll see what happens. It is just I feel like, quick round wins here for Rush. But 2 rounds could really be nothing here if Supreme mounts a comeback. So we will see what happens.
Yeah, you know, I think Booster Flames, again, just has such a snappy shot, and he was able to predict that split there that came in from Supreme, so he killed first player, took a quick turnaround, took out the second, and, I mean, with an NV4, you're not going to have much bounce on the recoil, so that was just a great kill by him. Right now, we're spectating Snivy. He's got the bomb laying down by B-side, and they're just looking for a pick, I think, before they decide to advance. Looks like he did have Boston pushing the flank. Or no, rather Booster pushing the flank on Supreme, but they did take him out. So it is now a 3v2 in favor of Supreme, and they should be able to get this bomb plant down rather quickly. Relays pushing mid will get behind a player from Rush here, and he is able to take out Viper. So it's now 3v1 as we just look to close in on the last player from Rush. So Supreme taking a round, definitely feeling confident as they kind of shift the momentum a little bit here.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like, you know, we saw Rush. They were not playing scared by, you know, at all, but they were, I feel like, a little just reckless is, I think, the word that we could use for that. You know, I feel like they've been so sharp, and they just kind of let Supreme get the best of them right there.
Agreed. And I mean, a team like Rush, maybe they decided, hey, let's mix something up a little bit, try a different play for this round. They saw it didn't work, and they probably are going to tighten up the screws just a little bit moving forward. But only time will tell as we spectate Snivy here in computers. He's got that NV4 for the long-range shot. The Viper decides to push him and actually does get the kill on him. So nice kill there for Viper. Snivy goes down. It's a 4v3 in favor of Rush, and the bomb is going to be planted by Booster Flames.
If you're Snivy in that situation, I feel like you need to at least pick up 1. And we just see Viper, running the thumb across the throat, dropping 3 members of Supreme that round. Nice stuff from Viper. I was about to say, Viper and Maradona had 0 kills combined going into this round. The top 2 slayers on the team doing a nice job there, picking up a round win for his team.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic plays there from Viper. I mean, this is why he's one of the top killers in the entire league. Explosive. He had a donut moving into that round, drops 3, so he must be feeling good now. And, you know, I don't want to say anything here, but I mean, with a player like Viper, you must be thinking he's just getting started.
See what happens here. Nice movement we're seeing from Viper. He picks up one, and it looks like Maradona picks up the second. Wow, quick trade-offs right there. That's what you want to see, you know, especially in S&D. Quick trade-offs. If you go down, you want your teammates to be able to pick you up, and Maradona does right here. Nice stuff from them. I like to see that E-Rad. Maradona really likes that E-Rad.
Yeah,
Nice
again,
for his
E-Rad.
fast play, too.
E-Rad is something that we've been seeing more and more of as time goes on, so definitely doing well for him here. I said we hop on board with Relays of Supreme. He's got 3 kills, and he's going to have to try to lead Supreme into a comeback here. They're down by 3 rounds. They're going to need to move the momentum a little bit. Maradona with an early snipe on Boston, and he actually takes out Relays with ease as well. I don't know why Relays decided to turn around there. Maybe he got a call out, but it is a 2v2 right now. Bomb is down in A long. Snivy taking out Maradona, who tries to push the wall run, so it's a 2v1 in favor of Supreme. Booster Flame is going to be the last alive for Rush. He will be underneath Snivy right now. I'm not sure if Snivy knows it or not. Misses the snipe, and Snivy cleans it up, so a round win for Supreme. They are now only down 2-4.
Wow, that was very interesting. If you ask me, Navy Clown, I think fell off the map,
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
which you know, did not put Booster Flames in a really nice situation, and the fact that he also had a sniper did not help. But we'll see what happens here. I'm curious to see if they put away the snipers. We're gonna hop on board with Maradona. He does not. They are very confident. Looks like they're shooting each other in their spawn. You know, they do have that killer mentality, like they're going to come out here and win. Snivy does take out Booster, though.
Yeah, Snivy with the early pick on Booster there. Maradona does see a few players pushing up the wall run, but in this close range, these kills are going to be hard to get. A nice snipe attempt there. I can respect that. He does take out one player. It's a 3v2 in favor of Supreme. Make that a 2v1 in favor of Supreme. Navy Clown, the last left alive for Rush. He'll take out Zoomix in mid-map and make his way towards A, where he thinks the bomb is going to go.
Yeah, this is really interesting right here. We do see Snivy. He's going to be wrapping towards B. Navy Clown still, you know, sitting back here. He's going to head over to A. I don't think he's really aware that Snivy's already posted up at B. And something, if you see on the minimap right now, Snivy didn't want B. Now he's heading back over to A. Nice
The
FTL jump.
comes in for Navy Clown. Another one to counter it, but Navy Clown manages to stay locked onto his target there. So 2 FTL jumps coming in to counter each other. I really like that play there.
Very interesting. We see back-to-back FTL jumps. I really did like Navy Clown's. And Snivy's, I feel like he could have saved that maybe for if he engaged in a better gunfight there. I don't think they were really engaged, so I didn't really think he had to use it. But maybe his thought was to FTL jump out the door. Did not work out in his favor, though. We are still on board with Snivy, dropping 6 kills for his team.
Yeah, just a little bit of, I think, a luck issue there. Not exactly the greatest direction for that FTL jump to be pushed into. And he actually, yeah, like you said, did not make it out of the door. So that's definitely something that hurt him there. Rush losing a player early off the bat here. Snivy's going to make an advancement on the sniper here. It's probably Maradona. Oh, it's actually Booster that time. So Booster does have bomb and the sniper. Will take out Relays with ease there, but does get taken out by Boston inside computers. So Boston now in a 1v2 situation against Viper and Maradona, the top 2 killers in the entire league, and he will go down just like that. So Rush taking map 2, 6-2 off of Supreme Nation as we move into a map 3 Frost uplink.
Yeah, you know, complete domination, really. You see 7 kills, 8 kills, and 5 kills from Rush. That's a lot of killing for an S&D. Supreme did swap out and get Relays, only dropping 3 kills, you know. You want a lot more slaying out if you're going to bring in a player. One thing to note, Zoomix, 4 kills, only 1 kill off what he had in the hard point. So I consider that at least, in a weird way, some sort of victory. You know, in 8 rounds of S&D, he got almost as many kills as he did in hard point.
I think for a couple of rounds there, you know, Supreme was looking pretty strong. It's hard to tell if it was because Rush was mixing up their strategies, trying to throw some curveballs at them a little bit. Hey, guys. There we go. So I don't know, you know, who's to say that Rush was, you know, really playing at their full potential in those rounds? Maybe they were throwing some different strategies at them. But either way, Supreme did look pretty strong for a couple of rounds there. And it's just going to come down to this precinct uplink to see if they can bring things back in their favor and take a map off of Rush here. So Rush really only losing 1 map so far in the regular season. I mean, that's an incredible feat. If they do take this last map with a win percentage like that in the mid to high 90s, where you've played, what was it, like it's going to be 18 maps, 19 maps, and you lost one of them. That's incredible. That's really something else, and quite an accomplishment for a team like Rush Enterprises to make, especially as you're moving forward into the postseason. I mean, that's intimidating if I'm a team going up against Rush for sure.
Yeah, but, you know, like we said, they have lost, so, you know, it's not like they can't be beaten. They have lost a map. So, I think Supreme could take this uplink from them. If they play as a team, I feel like they're just kind of going off doing their own thing. Rush is moving as a team, which is why they're always getting pickups. If Supreme moves as a team and they move the ball up together, if you know I feel like when you have one primary ball runner, I feel like that's not always the best tactic.
Okay.
You know, we do see Navy Clown run the ball a good amount, but Booster Flames, I believe does have the most uplinks on his team, which is good stuff to see from him, kind of like the support role. So I feel like if Supreme has one person run the ball and they have another person follow them up as the support, you know, also OBJ, that's what they'll need to do to win. Also, trade-offs, like we said, are really big. I think they need to get off to an early start, put early points up on the board. I think that's always the best way to get started.
Agreed. Like we talked about before, there's ways of stalling out the game as much as possible. I mean, so many wall runs on this map, especially when you go around the ridge and use that ice side of the map. In addition to that, you always have the sub room. So I think there's ways of just stalling and stalling and stalling. So if Supreme is able to put on some early points, like you said, make that early dent, they can carry that out and really make it last as long as they want. So again, with the dominance that you see from a team like Rush, I think, like you said, sticking together and having your pickups is going to be a huge deal, especially on a map like Frost where you have that sub area they can enter and exit. There's so many isolated sections, so it's easy for players to get separated. You know, when you go down and another player's in a completely different room, there's not a whole lot you can do. So I think staying together is going to be a difficult a difficulty for both teams to overcome. And being there to pick each other up and help each other out and moving as a unit rather than for individual players.
Yeah, and, you know, something to note going into this uplink is with having so many top killers in the league, as you see there's 4 of the top 10 in this match right now.
Yeah.
That's going to change up the KDs. Because Snivy, who you see is listed right now as 10th, you know, his KD might drop because he does have 3 of the other top 10 trying to kill him. So that is one thing to note, but you'll see what happens.
That is a good point, for sure. Again, you know, on the flip side, if you're going up against someone with the slaying potential of Snivy, it may hurt your chances to really boost your KD. So you might see some players from Rush actually decreasing in their kill-to-death ratio, depending on how the outcome of this game turns out to be. But regardless, we are in the lobby right now, so I'm going to be switching over to the CODcaster team. Looks like all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players are in the lobby right now. So Frost Uplink will be underway very shortly. And this is going to be the last, or rather second to last match of the regular season of Breakout Season 1. So I just want to thank you guys for being here with us throughout the regular season as we come to an almost close later in the week. So thanks for being here, guys, and we appreciate all the feedback in the comment section, all the viewership, all the responses on Twitter that we get, and the community that we've been building in the Discord. Voice crack in the Discord. So thank you guys for that. Hey, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. So Frost Uplink, we're gonna jump right into it.
I already know Original's going to say something about that later, too.
Hey, everybody
go to the
cracks,
gameplay.
man.
Go to
All
the
right,
game.
I'm going to the gameplay.
Not at 21. Go to the gameplay. All right. We see Viper running his thumb across his throat. He is planning on ending this series right here.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. I want to see what's going to happen. You know, I want to see Snivy try to at least drop 25. Along with Maradona and Viper. So we'll see what they could do. As we see a punch come out from Viper to start off the match.
Take a look. Navy Cloud not running kill streaks right now. Interesting. I think we do see some pretty standard stuff out of Maradona and Viper in terms of kill streaks. I mean, Maradona and Booster, but take a look at Viper. He is running the Warden. You got to know that that's in the back of his mind moving forward into this match. And with a quick 3 down in favor of Rush, they must be feeling good and looking for some early points. However, Snivy managed to grab the ball, chuck up a throw, and unfortunately he did miss. So Navy's going to take it now sub.
Yeah, we do see Navy actually running support right here for Booster. I did tell you, Booster does like to run the ball the most. And Booster punching and running his way through sub room, but he does get taken down.
Yeah,
So
nice
that is
lane coming out of
3 down
Supreme.
right now for Rush. If there's any time to make a push, this is it right here.
Yeah, Supreme showing their strength here, slaying out a little more than what we're used to seeing. So that if they can turn that into points, I mean, this is going to be big for them.
Yeah, ball did get reset though, so we're going to see a lot of players from Rush pushing out of the sub room. Booster dropping relays with that E-Rad. Seeing a lot of E-Rads on this map today. This could be good. A very fast-paced play.
That's going to be 4 down in favor of Rush there. I think Rush is going to try to translate this into points. The ball is pretty far away from the uplink station though, but with a player like Maradona pushed up nice and far into the opponent's spawn, they will be able to get the waves of Supreme players out. So Booster going for the dunk, and he will land it.
Like I said, Booster loves running that ball, just adding 2 more points onto his season high for uplinks. I don't know if he's leading the league, but I mean his season totals, he is adding 2 more onto that. Relays clearing the path for his team, hoping to at least put something up on the board. Doing a nice job here, but he does get picked by Viper with that lethal E-Rad.
Snivy, the last alive for Supreme right now. Rush has been absolutely dominant. Make that a 4 down. Relays coming in on the wave spawn here. But, I mean, Rush with a really aggressive and really dominant push here as they're just slaying out, and then focusing for ball afterward. So Viper with a nice 2-piece there. Let's see if Navy can translate this into points. Viper with a 3-piece. Here goes Navy with the dunk, and he will land it with ease.
We do have a 4-point lead here from Rush. You know, 2-possession game, very much still in reach. We are seeing though all 4 members of Rush with an E-Rad. I love that personally. I love to see the fast-paced play, and you know, I think they're just trying to get this match done as soon as they can.
Yeah, I really think that their focus here is to just bury. Focus on driving the uplink forward, you know, driving the drone forward rather, getting those waves of kills out as Supreme comes back from their spawn, hit those rotations nicely and just let them come into the gun. So Snivy with a 2-piece there. He will recover that ball and prevent Rush from scoring any further points right now. But with a wave of Rush players, I mean, Snivy's going to need to throw that down and go for kills there. So Boston is the last alive now for Supreme, and Rush is in a great position to translate this into an uplink. Let's take a look and see what they decide to do. I think they just went for the throw there, so it does land. Rush is now up 5-0.
If you are Supreme here for this, we got 1:40 left in the first half. Actually, one thing to note is that they did try to pick up the ball there and try to sneak a score in, but Rush did not let them pass. Boston very sneakily slipping his way through the right side of the map. Now it looks like he's going to get behind the players of Rush.
This could be dangerous.
He will at least take out 1 member, but he knows the rest are in blue. Being aggressive, trying to...
Nice switch executed there by Booster. Maradona is now left alive with the ball. And, I mean, I think that was successful by Boston. He drove Maradona back instead of being able to go for that uplink.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I like to see them all rocking these E-Rads. And we see 2 punches go down. Very interesting. I feel like we don't see that happen back-to-back like that. Snivy in a tough spot here. You got to question if he should just throw the ball. He does not, and that does cost him. Maradona shooting booster flames.
Oh,
This is a little... we have a bloodbath on our hands. We are seeing people getting dropped left and right.
Yeah, at this point, it looks like Rush is almost toying with Supreme right now, but you can't count out Supreme. I mean, we've seen some strong plays coming their way so far in this round. I think they're just like, you know, pretty much getting 80-90% of the way there and getting so close to being able to execute those uplinks after getting a few kills. They're just not able to close the deal. So Viper doing what we said he would do earlier, really just dragging out the time there with the uplink, using that wall run around the ridge to run down the clock.
One thing we are seeing, though, Snivy and Boston with 11 and 12 kills each respectively. You know, they're doing a much better job slaying out this game. It is not resulting in points. I feel like they are handling the slaying department where the rest of their team maybe needs to work on the scoring. You know, it's rough because they are slaying out, as we were saying. You know, we expected Snivy to heat up. It looks like he is a little bit. Boston finally getting the traction that we needed him to get. But double-digit kills all around for Rush, which, you know, could really, really hurt a team's offense, like Supreme's.
Let's actually take a look at Booster Flames. He's got 14 kills, most in the lobby, along with the 3 uplink points. So he's been doing a great job. He does have that Scarab in case he needs it or decides to use it. But he pushes right through the middle, catches a Supreme player off guard there, and he will take that ball and attempt an uplink right here. Looks like he attempted to go for the beatdown on Snivy. Snivy now with the drone.
Yeah, and you see, I don't think Rush is going to let up at all. I think they're still going to try to tack on the points because, Supreme is very much capable of mounting a comeback here. Rush is not going to give up. They're just going to keep packing on these points. Really, I feel like they're going to try to go for a shutout here, knowing Rush, knowing how they like to play.
I agree with you there. I'm just trying to take a look at the minimap real closely here. Snivy getting so close to this uplink. He does execute the dunk, so that's going to be really good for Supreme, actually.
That's really great. Puts them in a 2-possession game. Only a dunk and a throw, and you are tied up very much. That's we've seen that happen in less than a minute, so that could very easily happen here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boston
I think
doing a nice job here as well. Sorry to cut you off. You want to
it's all
continue?
good. I think we saw Supreme actually when they were playing, I believe, Hypnotic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were down by so much on the uplink, and then they decided to kind of make a push, score a quick couple of dunks, and then next thing you know, it's a 1-point game. So I mean, something like that is really important for a team like Supreme. Look at that, getting another one there. It wasn't a dunk, but still, that's a point on the board. Now they're only 2 points away, and with 3.5 minutes left, they have plenty of time to execute here.
Yeah, and it does seem like the teams are more confident on this side running the ball. I feel like if they maybe waited to have more support, they could have gotten the dunk off. The throw there did go in, though. He did get the throw, so now it's still it's back to a 2-possession game. So we'll see what happens here for Supreme. We've seen them score 3 this round. They could easily do that again with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, one of the things I was focusing on during that push by Rush is the positioning of Supreme and where they were. You saw that Rush completely just walked right through them. As Supreme respawned, they weren't always looking in the correct spot in order to get those cutoff kills for the carry of the uplink. So a nice 360 dunk coming in there from Maradona to put his team ahead by 5 points. Beautiful plays from Rush. You can tell that they really stepped it up in the last minute or so of the map. With 2.5 minutes left, Boston is going to attempt to pick up the drone and score his team some more points.
One thing to note is, Booster Flames and Viper dropping 21 kills apiece. Very nice stuff. And also the members of Supreme all around have picked up the pace in the kill department, as we're seeing all Supreme kill feed coming in right here. They've all stepped up really in the kill department. Zoomix and Relays have put up now over double-digit kills.
Oh, man. Zoomix going to
Tough
fall
break.
with the ball there. And a nicely executed kill by Viper. Viper getting another kill for himself on Boston with a beatdown of the drone. He'll now take this drone up ridge side and try to execute another score for his team.
See, and one thing I feel like that we have seen from Supreme is I don't think their ball running is as great as it could be. They did have some nice dunk and the throw that was so close to being a dunk. But the thing that I really feel like sets Rush apart is they push as a team, and when they run the ball, they're not just running the ball by themselves. They have at least one teammate there with them, as we see another dunk come in. 360 dunk, that is.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to take note of real quick is I think Maradona turned his sensitivity way up because we've seen him in the past play at a lower sensitivity than that. But it looks like he's executing some real quick 360 dunks right now. So potentially throwing in a little bit of BM there just to hype his team up and say like, hey, we're the best right now. And we're ahead by such a large deficit. So in any case, with a minute left, Supreme will mount a push. Snivy now facing 3 Rush players. They're going to try to knock them down and swing this ball back.
Yeah, one thing to also notice is that Maradona almost seems as if he's just kind of thrown in the towel a little bit. He's just gonna let the game play out. He is leading the league in KD. I think he's gonna hurt his KD slightly here.
Yeah.
Just not really trying his hardest, but
I mean, at this point, you got to wonder if like does he truly care that much? When you're looking at a team that's guaranteed the first seed right now, what's his priority? Does he want to make sure his stats are in order and that he maintains the top place on the kill-death ratio, or does he want to make sure that his team is winning and hyped up as they move into playoffs? You have to balance that out a little bit. A lot of players really want to focus on their stats and making their stats look good. So props to him for not necessarily just focusing on that. As Zoomix has left the game, Supreme is going to take the loss here. Rush wins 12-3. That will be the series, guys.
yeah, one thing to note, I did say coming into the map, I wanted to see Snivy dropping a 25 bomb. He did that. So that I got to give him props to that. Boston with 22 himself. Relays 19 and ZooMix with 15, much better than we saw them do the previous maps. I feel like they definitely did better. The start to the second half was 10 times better than anything I feel like we've seen from them tonight. But, you know, now they are in the playoffs, so I feel like they just have to try to, you know, get this out of their head. Maybe save this for if they do see Rush in the semifinals or the finals. Maybe, you know, remember what happened tonight. But besides that, I think they should try to clear their heads and just get ready for their playoff match.
Agreed. Yeah, as you move into the playoffs, all the teams are going to be needing to get ready for that. Supreme, like you said, guaranteed that playoff position, and they played, like we said, the strongest team in the league right now, so they can't be beating themselves up too much for taking a loss like that against such a talented roster. So what they need to do now is just, again, go back, watch some tape, figure out what they need to execute and improve on as they move forward into the playoffs. So totally agree with you there. Not a terrible situation to be in if you're Supreme. You know, especially you gain some experience against currently the best team in the league. So playoffs is going to determine everything. Not a whole lot to say after that. You know, again, a dominant performance from Rush. Rush only dropped one map in the entire regular season, so congratulations to them for that. I mean, it's a dominant performance. There's no other way to put it. So far, they've executed at a level that's been above and beyond the competition that they've faced, and that's going to be their legacy that they want to kind of carry forward into this playoff push. And they're looking to take it all. You know, this is a team to beat right here, and you know, props to both teams for executing here, playing this match tonight, and being a part of the regular season. So thank you guys for tuning in and being here. Anything else that I'm missing before we head out?
Well, just tune in Thursday to see Inhuman against whatever N-Sky will now be called.
Yeah,
That's really it.
Still not sure about what in Sky is going to be called, but in any case, thank you guys for being here. Rush Enterprises wins the series against Supreme Nation 3-0.
Finishing their season 6-0, the only undefeated team this season.
Yep. Cam Fran, thank you for following. Appreciate you being here in the chat with us tonight. Chroma, Jibby, Terra, what's up, guys? Original, thanks for being here tonight. Beast, Mushroom, Spoofs, Skiz, all of you guys. Appreciate everyone being here tonight and watching. As always, thank you for the support. We will see you guys in the Discord, on Twitter, across all the social media. So that's going to be it for us. And yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Much appreciated. We'll see you later.